Hello comrades, the Honey Badger here, reporting live from 1930s. Firstly, thank you Comrade Peter for the opportunity to have a sneak peek of the DLC before launch. Quite the early start, I'd say. Secondly, it's time for you comrades to actually check out the new awesome additions that this DLC offers. The devs did prepare quite a treat for us in this DLC, and make sure to stay tuned until the end, where I will be sharing a sneak peek of the new strategies that are to be used with this DLC. Starting off with one of the best features, and a very welcomed one, it's the customs houses. They got quite the upgrade, namely vehicles will turn around in the customs house after loading or unloading. This allows you to fluidize the traffic a lot more and avoid deadlocks at the border. Don't worry, this will also come to the base game, so you don't need to have the DLC necessarily to benefit from it. Then, continuing with the customs house trend, they also got new skins related to the early start DLC. The next nice feature is the research tree. It also got an upgrade. New research have been added that will allow you to unlock buildings, and also research is now locked behind years. So no more rushing the good things, so you can build them from the get-go. That means that the early gas processing is quite not a good strategy anymore at the moment. Also, the next thing that also got locked behind the scenes is the television and the television station setup. So until 1942, there's no TV for your comrades. And related to modern railway construction, you're not going to benefit from the other railroad type of things apart from the wood-based ones without actually researching them, which happens from 1943 at least. Going next into vehicles, let's start firstly with the wheeled vehicles. We got the power-hungry chugging Russo-Balt series of vehicles. These are produced between 1930 and 1923. Again, 1913, not 30. That means that their production dates end 7 years before you're actually starting the Republic. Their maximum speed is also 31 km per hour, and they can carry quite a lot of cargo, around 5 times more than the next vehicles. Buying these used is highly recommended at the beginning, as they can transport the highest amount of materials. But be very careful, a vehicle that is older than 10 years will be very hard to repair. Also, I'd rush a repair station at the beginning if I were you. Moreover, one of the characteristics of this vehicle, listen to this. Ain't that cute? This is one goose of a vehicle from my point of view. Moving on to the next series, we got the ammo series. These end production in 1931, just 1 year after you've started the Republic. But don't worry, they carry very low amount of resources and they go up to 42 km per hour. This will be your bread and butter early game until the next set of vehicles. Checking them a little bit, we can see that they are carrying relatively low amounts of materials. 1.5 seems to be the norm in regards to how much they can carry. Now, as mentioned, 1931 will be slightly a sad year, since almost a full year you won't have any new vehicles, since the ammo series are done. But don't worry, new ones are incoming in February 1932 more exact. The Gaz series. These are similar to ammo. They can carry a similar amount of resources, slightly lower. However, they are clocking in at 57 km per hour. Moreover, there are so many variants of these vehicles that I couldn't actually fit all of them in a big depot. I needed to also construct another depot over here. Also, there is this funny looking bus too that I do not dare to pronounce its name. This is one of the best buses that you can have early game, as it has a maximum speed of 53, it carries 30 people, and also it's slightly better than the gas. Actually, it's almost double better because the gas has 55 kilometers per hour with 17 capacity. Personal vehicles also got some new cars too. Here are all of them. I won't go through the years they are produced, since you're most likely gonna end up using them just for the secret police, and also the US car, you're gonna just produce it for money. There's a single model available from the NATO side in here. The first one, coincidentally, looks identical with its Soviet counterpart. The only difference is that it's slightly slower, and also behind the scenes we can see that the license plate is different between these two cars. I guess copycat much. Now let's move on to the railway. New type of locomotives are also coming, the steam locomotives. They use coal and water to function. They have their own fueling station, the coal fueling station. Also, there are a slew of locomotives incoming, more exactly 17 of them. So you can mix and match your Republic's trains however you like. You have options. Also, don't get too eager on using wooden railroads though. There are steam locomotives. However, their speed is between 40 and 155 kilometers per hour. Some of the locomotives here, you can say that they are even better than the diesel ones. Therefore, you can comfortably, solely use steam locomotives up to 2121 if you feel like it, as long as you got the means to produce it. Let's see a bit the locomotives over here and explain a bit the max speed that they are having. We can see that the earliest one has 65, then 100, 125, 97. These are the 40 and 45 ones, 120, another 45 one, 130, 155, 85. You get the gist of it. But basically all of them have variable speeds, and only 3 of them, as I noticed, are having 40 to 45 kilometers. So it's still a total waste to actually build wooden railways from my point of view at least. This one over here is the Bigus Chungus, the best steam locomotive that there is at the moment. It can reach 155 kilometers per hour, and also the engine power is quite good. There are others where the engine power is slightly better, like these two over here, but as it goes for speed, they aren't that great. Now when it comes to trams, there are 2 new trams added to the game. One that can carry 30 passengers and has a speed of 55 kilometers per hour, and one that can carry 60 passengers and the same exact speed. One quick mention over here, trams, remember, they are very good when dealing with snow, since they are not slowed down by the snow. By the way, these trams, at least the Bigus Chungus one, you cannot transport it via trucks. Therefore, you're going to need a way to transport them. Make sure that whenever you're building your tram tracks, to include an electrified railway, and afterwards come over here and you got the tram to railway connection. This will allow you to move the tram from the railroad tracks from the customs house directly on the road tram tracks that you are going to build inside your republic. Just like this. Make sure you electrify both of them using the tram trafo, and on the railroad system using the electric railroad connection over here. Like this. It simply just needed to connect it like this and then you're done. Make sure to also place your power poles just as necessary. And there you go. Afterwards you can buy the tram directly from the customs house and deliver it wherever you want. Moving on to ships, we got two new ships, a cargo ship and an oil tanker. Both of them are looking quite bulky and ready to battle rather than transport goods. I really like the rivets on this ship over here, which is the cargo ship. The oil ship is a bit smaller, but it gets the job done and it transports 2,700 tons of oil. The cargo ship only transports a similar amount in crops and other stuff. Currently, there is absolutely no ship for passenger transport, but I did offer Comrade Peter this feedback and maybe they will implement a new passenger ship for the early start DLC. In regards to airplanes, we got 3 new airplanes on the Soviet side, varying in length and capacity, and 3 new planes on the NATO side. And I've kept the longest entry for last, new buildings. Now there are a bunch of new buildings. It would take me hours to discuss each and every single building. Therefore, I'm just going to show them and stop at the most notable ones. Starting off with housing, there's a lot of new housing options for you to play around with. Both very long and also very short. Apart from this, we got new food and shopping buildings, alcohol selling buildings, and a slew of new cultural buildings. Also, sport locations have been changed and new ones are in place. Going into emergency buildings, we got new emergency hospitals, fire stations, police stations, courthouse and a new prison, new schools, kindergartens and orphanages, this cute little new accounting office, a new university halls, 2 new Communist Party HQs, and a Bigus Chungus Technical University, and I'm not joking, this thing is huge. Therefore, no more rushing researching early game anymore to get the best buildings ever. Moving on to the star of the show, a new medical university is incoming as part of this DLC. It costs less than half of the resources of the base game 1 to build. So finally, Lenin doesn't need to saw off someone's arm and leg to research how to handle vaccines in his republic. For tourists, new big hotels have been added to the game, which you need to firstly research them. They can hold up to 300 tourists. Attractions also got some new buildings. In regards to monuments, have you ever wanted to build the iconic Kremlin wall? Well, now you can do it. Apart from this, you also got 1 new statue and a cathedral. As it stands, currently I haven't built it in my Let's Plays and I'm unsure if it completes the pre-need of citizens or not. In regards to industry, you've got new buildings for almost each and every industry. Even the asphalt and concrete plants have a facial upgrade. Apart from presenting what I've done until now, I also played the game for a bit, namely for the first 5 years. The beginning strategies that I'm used to are completely shifted, in a good way. But before going into the tips and tricks, did you enjoy the video until now? If yes, take a second to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet, and let me know down in the comments which feature are you most eager to play with in this DLC. And if you're interested in guides for this game, I have a full playlist ranging from explaining the UI elements up to building complex industry layouts in the most efficient manner possible. Now, back to the DLC. Firstly, some context. I have fully recorded all my first 5 years experience and I will post them as first impressions in the next days. Be aware that I did find some bugs, which Comrade Peter is working to quickly fix them before the release, and during my Let's Play I did consider them, sadly, a feature, not a bug. Anyway, here are some tips that I got until now. You're going to need to buy vehicles ASAP. At the moment, I don't have any open hools over here. It's a bug. I should have had the gas vehicles unlocked, but Peter will fix it. The road depot free is very important at the beginning. All of the vehicles, as I mentioned, carry low amounts of stuff, and the big vehicles are also locked at the moment because their end production was in 1923. If we're gonna check over here, the only possible way is to buy them directly from the customs house as used vehicles. Try to stay away from vehicles that are higher than 16 years of usage, since they are very hard to repair. In terms of repairing, make sure that you are building a vehicle repair station nearby and getting foreign workers to do your bidding over here. Also, the distance between the first city and the border is way shorter. No more 800 meters distance because of the heating plant. Right now, the heating plant that I'm having over here in Siberia, by the way, is around 242-250 meters. In terms of pollution, they aren't affected at all at this distance at the moment. Also, the Russo-Balt series are pretty slow and they carry a lot of stuff, but the trains are king at the moment. They can carry way more things than the Russo-Balt can do, so make sure you're investing in them, since you're gonna need the train anyway. Also, with the trains, coal is king at the moment. You're gonna need coal both to heat your Republic and also to fuel your locomotives. So no more importing coal. Try to get it locally as fast as possible. By the way, here's the downside of having vehicles that are very old. 100% wear and tear. It's moving very slow and it completely blocks the traffic. Anyway, moving on to the next tip. Build as small as possible at the beginning. Every single building costs a lot to build, and when you're moving only 1.5 tons of stuff, and also you're having vehicles breaking down in the middle of the intersection, it will be very hard to build stuff. As you can see, 5 years passed in the game and I didn't manage to build that much of a thing. One thing that I regret is not moving the city even closer to the customs house, so I can avoid all of these delays over here. Another one, try to invest on researching vehicle production as fast as possible. And I think that kind of covers the tips that I have found until now. And just as a show off, here's how huge the technical university is compared to the other buildings. It will be very interesting for people to build this one. And with that out of the way, that's all basically that I have discovered until now. I really love the honks that happen in the background from time to time. And I am sure that I'll discover way better strategies that I did not yet figure out, but the DLC is quite early, pun intended. I'll keep reporting new strategies that I'll find and make videos on them. Until next time, I'm the Honey Badger, and I'm out.